Hello. The Venus transits on 20th December 2025 and it transits from the 7th house to the 8th house of Taurus ascendant. 8th house is regarded as the worst house of any birth chart because the 8th house represents most of the highly negative factors of life. Destruction, fall, sorrow and life-threatening events, financial losses, lifespan and death. So it's the worst house of any birth chart. When the Venus transits to the 8th house, it will be there up to the 13th January 2026. Also when it reaches there, the Sun and the Mars are already there. Mars will be there up to the 16th January 2026 and also the Sun will be there up to the 14th January 2026. Sun and Mars together in the 8th house is not a good conjunction to be there. It might exert more negative influences than the positive influences. You might get involved in violent situations or life-threatening situations, also legal issues, illnesses and many more. The Mars also resembles your 7th house. 7th house represents marriage, married life, married partner. When the Lord of the 7th house, the Mars, when the Mars is in the 8th house, that will negatively influences the 7th house. The matters represented by the 7th house. The Lord of the ascendant of the Taurus ascendant is Venus. Now the Venus transits to the 8th house and it will be there up to the 13th January 2026. Venus represents two houses of the birth chart of Taurus ascendants. Number one is the ascendant or lagna and the other house is the 6th house, which resembles the illnesses and also the enemies. When the Venus stays in the 8th house, then you have to be careful from the diseases and also from the enemies. And as the ascendant is in your 8th house, then you will experience some setbacks in your life and also some stressful situation to your mind. The Sun resembles your 4th house. It is the Lord of your 4th house. The Ketu or the South Node already in your 4th house in the long run. So it will exert long-term influences. The Ketu or the South Node will be there in your 4th house up to the 5th December 2026. So it will influence in long term. But the planets like Sun, Mars, Mercury and Venus, they impact in short run because they move from one house to another house within a short period of time, like within a month or 1.5 months. So as the Sun stays in the 8th house, so that will influence negatively to your 4th house in short term during its stay in the 8th house, like 1 month period. But the Ketu is already there in the 4th house. It will influence the 4th house negatively in the long run. The 4th house resembles your properties, mean long-term fixed assets like your lands, buildings, vehicles, and also the place where you stay, your residence, and the comfort you enjoy in your house and convenience of your residence, those things. So as the Ketu is in your 4th house, you experience some negative influences for all those matters in the long run. When the beneficial planets aspect the 4th house or reach there, then you will experience some kind of relief on those matters or some kind of better results. But as the Sun also in the 8th house during present time, so you experience more negative influences on those. At the end of the month, Mercury also transits to the 8th house on 29th December 2025, and it will be there in the 8th house up to 17th January 2026. So now you can imagine that 4 planets will be there in the in your 8th house, the worst place in the birth chart. So 4 planets mean they represent many things. So many negative influences. So you have to be cautious during that period. It's a very short period, like less than a month period. So be cautious on that. It's better to take care on those issues during that period. In fact, you have to take care of yourself also. Let's take a look at those long-term influencing planets like Saturn, Jupiter. South node, we already discussed about that, so no need to discuss about that anymore. And the north node, Rahu. The north node is already in your 10th house. That will create some inconsistent situations in your profession, because the north node or Rahu is like that. It will not let you to be stable in your profession. So sometimes it might rise and sometimes it might fall to the ground, and changes also. So that is the nature of Rahu. So Rahu will be there up to 5th December 2026. But there is a positive factor also there. Rahu is in somewhat powerful state there, because it is in Aquarius sign. So it is not in like enemy or and also debilitated state. It's in somewhat powerful state. So the kind of negative influences you experience is comparatively low. If it is in like a debilitated or enemy situation, then you might experience more negative influences. But anyway, you have to be cautious on your profession. These days, Jupiter is in your 2nd house, and Jupiter aspect your 10th house, the profession. But you don't get much help from the Jupiter, because Jupiter's behavior is different for the Taurus ascendant. Saturn is more beneficial than Jupiter when it comes to profession and luck for the Taurus ascendant, because Saturn represents the 9th house, which resembles the luck and fortune, and the 10th house, which resembles the profession. So normally Saturn brings you better results than Jupiter, because Jupiter is the lord of the 8th house. As I mentioned you earlier, 8th house is the worst house of any birth chart. As the Jupiter resembles the 8th house, it brings bad luck for many things. But the Jupiter is the lord of your 11th house. That means income and social affairs. For the 11th house, Jupiter brings luck only for that, as it represents the 11th house. So these days, Jupiter is in your 2nd house when it comes to your wealth and savings, not the income. Whatever you save, that means your wealth and savings, it's not that good as the Jupiter is there. It's not much supportive. If the Jupiter is in the 2nd house in some other lagnas, then that is highly beneficial. But for the Taurus people, that is different. But for the income, it's good. Saturn is there in your 11th house, so Saturn is positively influencing your profession and income, and the Jupiter also help you to have good income these days, but not for what you save and your savings. And the second house also resembles your married life, the life after your marriage. So Jupiter is not giving much help for that also. So Jupiter is going to stay there in the second house up to 2nd June 2026. But when the Jupiter reaches the third house from when it transits to the third house on 2nd June 2026, it will be there in the third house up to the 31st October 2026. So during that period, the Jupiter aspect the 11th house, which resembles income and social affairs, and as the lord of the 11th house, that will influence highly positively for the income and social affairs of Taurus ascendants during that period. So remember, this is a common astrological analysis for Taurus ascendants. But when you take your birth chart and if you take the astrological analysis based on your birth chart, that will be more accurate and personalized than this common reading. Because your birth chart is based on the exact positioning of planets at the time of your birth. So to get a more accurate and more personalized birth chart reading, you have to take a birth chart reading based on your own birth chart. And the birth chart shows your destiny, but it's not a fixed destiny. You can change it. Otherwise, there is no point of taking a horoscope reading. If you can't change it, if it's a fixed, there's no point of knowing it early. But astrology was there for 1,000 years ago, 1,000 years, as you can make use of it to change your destiny. That's how the people dealt with it over the thousands of years. So when you get the guidance from the astrology, you can plan well, you can prepare early, then you can have a working plan and work on that. Then you can overcome your difficulties, and you can successfully overcome them, and you can achieve the best of your life with the help of your birth chart. Good luck.